Welcome to Chateau, a great place to keep your LDAR data and a really cool place to work. We're talking about tours. We've talked about brand attachment. We've talked about detector-specific tours. We've talked about mixing and matching inspection types and inspection whys. We've talked about setting early due dates. Now let's focus on optimizing the way you build your tours and the way you present them to technicians in a handheld. For instance, we definitely want to get all of the DTMs and the FDTMs. There's not so many here that we need more than one tour, so let's just put them all in a tour. We have a PID and an FID tour, which is not surprising. We're happy to do that. Since we already know that we're going to give these to John, we could assign the technician right now to that person and to assign another technician to that. The next thing we do is we come back and we can put all the AVOs in a specific tour if we want to. And since we know these weeklies on this AVO are the same component as these monthlies, no reason to send somebody to the same space, the same spot twice. And let's go ahead and make the tours a little bigger here. And we can build that tour. And then we see we created two more tours because you had some FIDs and some PIDs here, which is unavoidable. And we always can we could always select just for the FIDs, and we could be working with just this group, if that was what our choice was, or we can undo this filter and we can bring everything back out. You come back, and I would suggest to you that we go at the single components, we build them in a tour all by themselves. And you could have done that when you actually scheduled it, and you'll learn those things as time goes by. And then let's go ahead and put the retest in a tour by themselves. And the reason we do that is because we want to be able to maintain our awareness of where those components are in the route sequence. You don't want to mix those retests in with 60 other components that may be spread out all over the lunit. So we can right now continue to organize these things according to where they are in the route sequence to make sure we've maximized the effectiveness of the technicians. And here, these quarterlies and these, we can put all these together. And we need to get these done a little sooner, so let's keep them in a tour. And the semi-annuals, at this point, you could decide, do I want to mingle these together, or do I want to keep them in two separate tours? If I know I'm going to get them both done by the end of June, then I could keep them in the same tour. But if I wanted some more time to do these annuals and just focus on my semi-annuals, of course, I know those semi-annuals are Freon, so they're going to automatically go into a separate tour. And let's go ahead and build that tour. Now you have this number of tours that you want to figure out the most efficient way to assign to a technician. The cool thing is here we have the order of these components. The first component in each tour happens to be displayed right here, so that we don't have the risk of taking these retests and inadvertently sticking them down here at the bottom of the tour. Or this PRV, which is in the 22nd position in the route, we know we want to keep it up here close to the top. When you get ready to sort these things, you can call your Freon up here. You can assign it to a technician. You want to do just the FIDs without the Freon, and then make sure they're sorted. You have complete control to mix and match these different inspection whys with the number of inspections that you have with the due date, because you can always sort them by the due date here, and you immediately see these have to be done today. So it might be a good idea to put those two in a handheld and get it out the door. This has to be done tomorrow, so these three you may put them all in the same handheld. And these components aren't due for 266 days, so you may decide you want to wait. That's how to optimize the value of these tours. And Chateau enables you to keep the information in front of you that you need, to sort specifically on the information that you want to focus on at any given point in time, and always have the due dates in front of you and the route sequences of the first component in the route sequence for each group of components. That's how to optimize your tours. Thanks for exploring Chateau with us. The most important question is, how can we do it better?